Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to the latest in our Archipelago Final Fantasy Randomizer plus Timespinner tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef. Joined with me in the booth today is Sonny Wrath. How's it going, Sonny?
Going pretty good. I've been looking forward to this match for quite a while, so this is definitely going to be a doozy.
And Dark Moon. How's it going, Dark Moon?
I'm here too.
I had to pick one of you to intro first. Okay, so we got ourselves some FFR, we got ourselves some Timespinner, we got ourselves some Archipelago. So we have items from both games are going to be shuffled amongst both games. We have the Archipelago client feeds below for each team, so we can kind of see things that are picked up. And this is a race to try to beat both games as fast as possible.
I already got a question in chat asking what Archipelago is. It is a combo randomizer system, effectively. People add their games to it, and you can cross-play with just about anything, sharing your items multi-world. Long and short of it. It's awesome. It really is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan myself.
It spans so many different games, but for this tournament, we have stuck to Final Fantasy Randomizer as well as Timespinner. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we have with the Final Fantasy Randomizer seeds are just a single blessing on each of the Light Warriors. And we see the same party compositions from Saracen and Demon Frog, the Final Fantasy Randomizer players for each team. So with the fighter, they get to wield the Excalibur without promotion. Thief gets to wield the katana without promotion. This red mage gets plus 80 HP to start, and the black mage has plus 15 vitality. And with that, our runners are off.
Looking at white magic, we got early life that is red learnable, and over in black magic, we got Brack, we got Ice 2, we got Quad X, we got Zap. That is a fun decision-making exercise. Do we want the anti-Tia and Kraken insta-kill? Do we want the very good for a lot of the game insta-kill? Do we want the AoE insta-kill that is not great against anything that's not a lich? Or do we want the actual literal damage?
I'd take the insta-kill. I would take probably Ice 2, and I would lean towards Brack myself.
So, something else that we should probably mention is that since life was in slot 3, that's also going to be night learnable, so that fighter, if promotion happens, will be able to get charges of life since it is level 1.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, over in the Timespinner side, we are starting with Shattered Orb, which is basically the orb equivalent of a shotgun, and the Colossal Blade, which is on the upper end, I think, of mid-tier of spells in the game.
I would actually agree with the Colossal Blade being on the upper mid-tier of spells. Yes, it is a giant sword that comes down and just hammers into whatever you hit, but it actually does a pretty significant amount of damage, and that is a very early key for Saracen, as that was in Topher top left.
Meanwhile, Demon decided to do a cheeky early Dwarves dive, gets rewarded with the ship.
I was going to do the thing of, how many loose do we have in this? But it's Archipelago and multi-world, so that means everything.
Yeah, well, in this particular flag set, I believe they have their own gear, but key items are going to be in the pool, yeah. So that's going to include shards. And then rare and legendary and caster items are in the pool as well. So question in chat, what is an AP item? That is basically it's an Archipelago item, an item that was sent off to the Archipelago pool and now can be essentially anything. The reason it says AP item and not the item itself, as devs have explained to me, is that it would cause a delay of like a second for every AP box to open, and they decided, well, we'll just call them AP items, just consult the client. So if you see an AP item, you can look down at the client for that team, and you'll see like FFR found their herb in Canaria 6, or FFR sent the Eye Orb to Timespinner out of Canaria Major. That tells you essentially what the AP item is. It's an Archipelago item, and it's not even necessarily for that player. It might be for their teammate.
It's also a consistency thing, because a lot of the games that are in the system don't have the easy luxury of being able to put the game or the item titles in there, and they wouldn't have icons for them as well. So, I mean, even if we could do it with Final Fantasy Randomizer, consistency speaking, it's nice to kind of be on the same page with everyone else.
Hate the 13th, checking out the present already, gets rewarded with a sealed cave start, everyone's favorite.
I mean, the sealed cave start really isn't that bad, as it is close to the Varnagray library, which is very, very nice, and with having the TPKs, that also gives Hate early warp shards.
On the downside of that is that you needed to have elevator keycard to get out of there, and luckily that was super early. But we're in the towers, so we're in kind of keycard hell. We want D, we want C, we want A, we want B to go like forward in the game. Is just yeah, we're close to the library, I guess, but
And there's the bombardment from the librarian for Hate. Bombardment is personally what I would call an underrated spell, as depending upon your positioning when you use bombardment, you can actually hit something up to 8 times with it, if not more. The most I've seen is 8 hits for damage, but I imagine it could potentially go even farther than 8.
They both function off of the levels of the Shattered Orb. So the Shattered Orb is the shotgun of orbs, whereas Bombard is the shotgun of shotguns. So if we just equip both of those and take them to the end of the game, we could see some pretty monstrous damage out of them.
It looks like over from Final Fantasy we had the Timespinner spindle hanging out over in the Matoya's Cave. I don't know a ton about Timespinner, having only played through it once, but I'm pretty sure that's one of 3 key items you need.
It is. So let's talk about Gomos real quick. Over in Archipelago, we're doing a shard hunt. We do need 32 shards.
Over in Final Fantasy, you mean?
Yes, 32 shards.
Sorry. Yeah, we need 32 shards. We need the loot, and we need the key. Now, we might need other things to find those shards, but all we need is the loot, the key, and the shards, and then we could just go to Topher and do the thing. Meanwhile, over in Timespinner, we have to build ourselves a clock. We need the wheel of the clock, we need the 3 gears that go in the clock, we need the beans to fill the clock with, and then we need a keycard B to make it to the end of the game, where all the endgame dungeon stuff is. We're also going to need 2 different masks, one to breathe water, the other to breathe air, and then some form of upward movement. That we have a lot of options for this. We could have double jump, we could have light wall, we could have celestial sash. Lots of options, but we're gonna need something to propel ourselves upward.
Yeah, and there are some things that can be done with light wall and the double jump, which is the succubus hairpin, that allow celestial sash to more or less be skipped. So we very well may see that in this race, but only time will tell. It depends on if light wall is found, as well as succubus hairpin, and potentially even Teleria. But over on Shadow Walker's screen, in the air vents, there was Selen's Bangle, which increases Linnaeus's experience gained.
Right. So we do have 2 people that are focused a little bit on levels. It's kind of. Over on the Timespinner side, Linnaeus is going to usually find a lot of the run, or a lot of the levels over the course of the run naturally, just by killing bosses, killing things that are just too annoying to try and jump around. But that Selen's Bangle is just going to give us such a cushion of comfort going into the end game that it's no longer going to be just kind of like have concern as we take on bosses. It's going to be comfortable as we take on bosses.
And you're going to see a lot of upgrades in Timespinner, like the one you just saw was max sand up. You'll see max health up and max aura up. Aura being what's used to cast the spells in Timespinner, like Bombardment, Gin Inferno, Infernal Flames, Light Wall, so on and so forth.
So already, it looks like we've got a bit of, I think, divergence going on. It looks like Shadow really, really, really wants to ferret out this elevator tower nonsense, whereas Hate has decided, nope, I'm gonna plant my flag in the past. Everything's always in the past. Let's just do the castle, get it over with. Meanwhile, Saracen and Demon Frog holding hands in Elfland.
I get to see a lot of really good magic. I did level 2 magic. I'll check that the next time they go into their menus. But I will note chainmail +5, which is good chainmail. That's end game chainmail right there. If you don't find anything better, and the shop item there at Elfland for 53,000. It's an AP item, of course, because we won't know what it is until they buy it.
Yep, could be for them, could be nothing. This is where one of those fun co-op strategies comes into play, where you can vendor everything and then buy it and then reset, because AP items are handed back to you if you reset.
That was something I was going to mention. Yeah, even if you go, like, take a long dive in the volcano and die to carry, any AP items you found on that dive will stay in your magical bag of holding up in the cloud. Also pointing out that level 4 has the first really good magic I've seen right there, with Nuke and Warp being available. You hate to see both on the same floor when you're trying to do early dives, or same level when they're trying to do early dives, but Nuke is the spell you want, and it's good to have it in the first 4.
I hate the 13th picking up something very important with the Ramparts Knight and Archer guarded room, the Timespinner Gear 1 of the 5 pieces of the Timespinner needed for Go mode. And on the pedestal, that is a water mask.
Oh, past loaded. We got one of the clock hands, we got the ability to breathe water and sink.
As well as access the Maw, which the Maw is needed to be killed in order to access the final areas of the game, being the military hangar, the laboratory, and then the pyramid itself. But in order to access the pyramid, all of the Timespinner pieces must be found.
Right.
The order... Oh, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, the order of operations for our Timespinner runner is step 1, kill the 3 specific bosses in the past. We got the Maw, we got the Queen, and we got the Succubus twins. And then go back to the present, and then we do the lab, kill Blob Mom, and then, assuming we have the parts of our clock assembled, then we can go to the Ancient Pyramid and take on Sandman/Nightmare.
Hate is sitting very pretty right now, finding the gas mask behind just an egg, which is literally a chest guarded by 1 egg. And the omelet chest had the captain's uniform, because everybody likes a 3-egg omelet.
So, with the Final Fantasy players sitting not only on an all-loose for their key items and big inventory items, but also for their shards at this point, we're not going to see them taking, like, maybe the usual path you might expect through the game. They're going to prioritize big treasure-dense areas, and with the tracker that's online available to them, telling them where specific items are and what treasure chests, they're also going to be targeting where they know those chests are going to be. So they're going to be taking very, sometimes unusual routes, maybe sometimes skipping chests and avoiding keeping certain things that you might think they'd keep normally, because they're trying to stick to a path that they feel is most efficient for this style of play, which is why you saw them go to Astos and do some stuff there, and then immediately bounce right out and come down here to Marsh Cave. There are some of us in the game that never want to go to Marsh Cave, but in Archipelago, you kind of have to.
Yeah, you gotta go where the boxes are, and as much as we hate it, there are in fact boxes in Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. We see that the Empire Crown was in Marsh. Both Shadow Walker and Hate the 13th now have those Empire Crowns, which are extremely good. And on top of that, Hate has the Nether Orb, which is one of my personal favorite orbs in the game, just because it can put out a ton of damage in no time.
And not because it sounds vaguely dirty?
Nope.
No.
Not at all.
No. So the Nether Orb opens a portal to the Nether. Whenever it strikes someone that is casting a spell or using an ability, it's a little fiddly with how it activates, but if you can master the fiddliness, it does kind of a lot of damage.
That is a big pickup for Hate the 13th. The Succubus hairpin being underneath the twins is extremely good, as that's going to be necessary to not only get to the twins, but also scale the Royal Towers to get to Alana, who is another one of the required bosses. The boss that Hate looks like he's going to go after first will be the twins and the Golden Idol. Pretty early boss, not too bad of a fight, looking pretty good on health, so I expect this to go fairly well.
Library keycard V sent to Shadow Walker from the March Cave locked area.
The library keycard V is one of those items where it's not necessary in this flag set for Timespinner because we're not playing with tablet items on, but basically it opens a very secret room in the library where you can read all about how you're definitely not messing up time like a responsible person.
But I just want to point out that we did find Agabus lurking there in the locked tile right there for March Cave, and unfortunately they rolled up over 300 health. Can't quad X them, and probably not going to fight them because they're just, not worth it. And now I think Demon Fong's gotten a little lost as to where the treasure chests are.
Hate having a very, very well executed Golden Idol fight, taking down the twins, and that is one of 3 bosses gone, and getting the best bird in the game.
That is, in fact, yeah, that's definitely my favorite bird out of the 2 options.
And I guess whatever Demon Frog found in March, he wants to actually try and walk out. I don't think he got any levels because he's been running from everything. And he may just get burned to death by cremate gargoyles with Stinger. But he's trying... He was trying to... No, never mind. I was going to say, he was going to try and walk that stuff out, but I guess the game decided that decision for him. Final Fantasy Randomizer, people. That's just what the game does.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to leave this dungeon? Now.
So at this point, in Timespinner, we've got, I'm looking at our offensive options. We've got Shattered Orb, we've got Eye Orb, we've got Nether Orb. I understand the Nether Orb pick, but honestly, I think I would just be sitting on Shattered Orb for the whole game. Started with it, I'll get the most levels on it. I've got Bombard to synergize with it.
And with Bombardment hitting multiple times, it isn't a bad idea, but I know that Hate likes to cycle through some of the weapons until he has every Timespinner's favorite spell in the game, the Gin Inferno, aka the Spicy Meatball.
Everyone loves meatballs, so good.
We have Fade, Cure 4, and Ice 3 sitting here at level 5. That's starting to verge to the point where you're not going to get a ton of charges of it, which kind of sucks to have 3 of the better spells of the game sitting there.
Were Fade and Cure 4 learnable, at least?
Well, I can't remember what slot is learnable for unpromoted.
First slot unpromoted, second slot promoted.
They were 3rd and 4th slots.
Well...
No Fade, no Cure 4. That's going to be fun going Topher.
You're right, Red Mage. They're not going to be able to learn it anyways.
Wait, I didn't know white magic we got.
Don't take white mages. Why would you do that? Well, Fade and Cure 4 were unlearnable for you at this point. Sorry.
I mean,
it's fine.
Life 1 is still there, so...
You have a Red Mage. You've got Nuke. You're fine.
Alright, looks like Shadow Walker's gone into Upper Banishment.
Shadow and Upper Banishment. Demon... It'll be interesting to see if the hand-holding has stopped. No, it hasn't. Demon's probably going to make a run at the top of Earth Cave. So, just a little bit behind Saracen at this point. Shadow really hanging his hat on this Upper Banishment play. Gets another piece of the clock. It's highly likely, I think, that Hate will bump into it. Depending on... Actually, no. Highly likely that'll be bumped into. That's in one of those locations that's really on the path on your way out of Banishment. But... if we can find the rest of our Go mode in here, that'll be a lot of boxes that Hate will be opening for no reason, I think.
Indeed, and one of the convenience items still has yet to be found, that being the Teleria attachment. And the Teleria attachment is your Zoomy. It's your go fast for Timespinner.
Just gotta go fast. That's the bit...
Oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, that's the bit like Teleria or Celestial Sash, either of those down here, and this will be a big, big play for Shadow.
Earth Cave, the gift that keeps on giving. We have not only those gargoyles with cremate on them, but also cobras with heat, pretty much annihilating Saracen's party the first time he ran into those back to back. Did pull up the librarian robe out from there. I don't know, in comparison to the armor that they have equipped right now, though, how good that's going to actually be.
I have not seen much in the way of chest armor. Well, there was the captain's uniform, so it's worse than that.
There you go, then.
And Canoe is in Earth Cave in chest 6, which is the top right room. So that's a very nice find for Saracen, as well as the black shirt. So there's another AoE option.
Meanwhile,
I was going to say, Canoe does unlock some better dungeons to go to if you don't want to continue doing Earth Cave, because better chest density and not having to be an Earth Cave.
Meanwhile, Shadow coming up with not only Timespinner Gear 2, but also the wheel out of his upper banishment dive. So we got Gear 1, we got Gear 2, we got the wheel, we got the spindle. All we need is Gear 3. And so Shadow is attempting to hit for things. We're looking for the Celestial Sash.
As well as Light Wall.
As well as Light Wall, so that means that Celestial Sash was somewhere we're never going to get it. That's the only reason you hit for Light Wall after Celestial Sash.
I'm not going to get that high jump. Let's just try and go for something halfway okay.
Yeah. Before Celestial Sash is at that chest.
Or it's in like Sky or something ridiculous.
That's a possibility.
And Hate is here beating up a poor defenseless bird.
Yep.
This bird is not defenseless.
That's pretty defenseless.
It's a little defenseless.
It's your tutorial boss, okay? Not the worst tutorial boss, but still, let's be honest.
Alright, all the vines have been burnt for Hate, so Hate's got that. And the next stop, I imagine... Oh, I was gonna say I imagine it would be Ma, but no, instead going back to the library.
Interesting.
You go.
Did a keycard D get picked up and I missed it?
Yes.
Oh, double jump. We're headed for these chests. Okay.
So it looks like Saracen only cleared out Earth 1 and Earth 2. I did not see Earth 3 get touched by them, and then they bounced out and are doing the play I always like to make, no matter what version of this game I'm playing, always bet on ordeals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Castle Ordeals.
It's good. It's not that long a dungeon, especially once you figure the route through it. It's got some good chest density up on the top floor. Well worth checking. Plus, you're going to have 2 tiles you can look at to see what might be there for you to fight.
Well, there's the Empress robe from the backer room for Hate, so that's much better armor than the captain's uniform.
Mm-hmm. I would consider... So, we have the Empress crown. That's the best helmet in the game. And the Empress robe, I'd say, is the second best armor in the game. So, right now, Hate looking real good on gear at the moment.
I would agree with that. The only thing that would be better is having the Eternal Coat, but that's not even really necessary.
So Demon Frog continues to walk stuff out, and I haven't seen him get any gear that really seems all that essential. This is one of those things when you're playing co-op or anything like this, and this is basically co-op by a different name, is learning when it's okay to just reset out of stuff and save those, minute or so from one dungeon floor to the next of just not walking things out. Demon Frog's a good player, but I feel like he's losing a little time here by walking things out unnecessarily.
I think it's a question of, do I want to carry out the couple levels I got now to put myself in a better position to dive something risky in 5 minutes? I think that's the calculation we're making here.
It's that thing of, that there's some tiles you can fight on the top of Earth Cave 1, which may or may not be great. But you also have, over in Astos, we saw Wiz Mummy Pack, which with Nuke and some other spells, I feel like you kind of do that instead,
So, chat, our restreamer Math Girl pointing out to us that over on Demon Frog's side, he did a hint for his floater, and the floater is in the Volcano Armory. So as soon as anyone... Well, we've got the canoe, so Demon Frog can just go straight there and get the floater, whereas Saracen is gonna have the bad feels at some point after Ordeals.
And over on Hate's side, we saw the cat boss, aka Boots, so that was a good high boots, buy boots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, the last time I played this, I died to Boots 3 times. So
Boots is another one of the tutorial bosses, but there's the Teleria attachment for Hate in Upper Desolation Double Jump 4. That is pretty significant.
Yep. And
on top of that, I don't think Shadow Walker's picked up his hairpin.
Unsure. Where was hairpin again? I know I've seen it.
Underneath the twins.
Potentially not. I feel like I haven't seen Shadow Walker move in that direction yet. There was a lot of present clearing, and then we hit Upper Banishment. Now we're heading left through the lake nonsense.
I know that Shadow Walker did grab the Timespinner piece that was in the ramparts. But that's about all that I've really seen outside of the Upper Banishment gear and wheel.
So I can understand why I could do the hit for Floater and go do Volcano immediately, but I can't blame Saracen for his play over here to Ordeal, not only because I like the dungeon, but now knowing how many chests were there that he was looking at, that was 6 AP chests on one floor. That's hard to pass up.
It really is, and for the trouble, we got... I can't see what the top one was, but we got Sunglasses, we got Wind Orb, we got Sanguine Ring, we got a Cabin, and a Shard.
Yeah, he got Ice Orb in there as well.
Or no, that was all Timespinner stuff.
Yeah, it was all Timespinner stuff.
Wind Orb. Yeah.
He didn't get a whole lot that he cared about for himself, but, I mean, just opening those chests and getting those AP items does increase the number of things that he can hint for. So.
And hint points are very, very valuable.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't just constantly hint. You have to open up enough AP chests to earn the right to do hints and spend those points that you've earned from that. So just by going to Ordeals and opening up 6 of those, he earned some points to use. So it's a good play in that regard.
Indeed, and to give an idea as to how many points are needed, with the FFR, it is 30 points per hint, and if I remember correctly with Timespinner, it's 24 per hint.
Something similar to that. It is 15% of the total number of AP checks. So remember that not every box in FFR is an AP item, but for all the AP items, if you open 15% of those, you get yourself a handy-dandy hint point. All you have to do is tell the game, I want X, or I want to know what's at X, and it will tell you. So, like when Demon Frog was just like, I want to know where my floater is, and the game said, right you are, good sir, it's over in Volcano, have fun. That's very powerful, but the downside is when you ask for a hint, and it's just like, absolutely, good sir, it's that next box right in front of you, that one right there, and it's just like, oh, well, alright.
The absolutely good sir must be a part of Archipelago, because I've never heard that come out of Final Fantasy Randomizer at all. It's usually quite the opposite.
Yeah, no kidding there with that. Alright, Hate is about to be at the top of the tower to take on Alana, and I do believe we're going to see some Nether Orb used, and Alana is going to be taking a lot of damage from this Nether Orb.
Yeah, Nether Orb is good against casters, and hey look, it's the Magic Caster boss.
So with Floater being in Volcano, Saracen's heading over there right now, or was. I think he wiped and is having to redo his sail over for it. He was heading there, so he was likely going to get that immediately, unless, nope, I guess he's decided to bail and go to Ice Gate. Well, take that back. But the thing it is, with Demon Frog, I know I saw him head over to this. It was chest 15 in Volcano for the Floater, so that's over in the what we call the Armory Hairpins area. It's chests you don't normally want to check, but when you know it's going to be there, you go and do those chests.
Saracen is going to go ahead and head to the volcano, but I do like where Saracen ended up docking the ship. Throwing it over by the river that normally is taken to get to Ice Cave does actually shorten the distance that you have to go in order to get to Volcano.
And thankfully, due to his good play, and he looks like he's going to be checking everything on this floor, he will be getting his floater even though he didn't know it was going to be here. So Saracen really not that far behind as far as, like, AP checks for this area.
Meanwhile, Shadow Walker going to be the first one to take on the Maw. For those following in the audience, the Maw is the Lich of Timespinner. Do anything and it just falls over. This is going to be a short fight.
Also undead, so that's a really good comparison. It's like Slogger and Gaibon from Symphony of the Night, which is a game I know much better than Timespinner.
This is true, and was that the Eternal Brooch? That was the Eternal Brooch. So now Shadow Walker's pretty.
Pretty princessing, gotta love that.
And Chadbert pointing out in chat, ice does work better for this fight. And yeah, ice just shreds through the Maw.
Yeah,
I want to point out that it looks like the Grey Worm tile is... Oh no, it's the Fire Elemental tile in Volcano is our Seafood Party Pack, which normally would be something I would desperately want to avoid at the levels they're here at. But they have Nuke and Lightning 3, and those things were getting absolutely shredded by those spells. That's a tile I might save outside, get a reheal, and come back in to grab some quick levels, because, like, in the early game, like, they're at level 8 or so, Seafood Party Pack is worth.
Did Hate skip T-Chest?
Unsure.
Because I don't see T-Chest on the log, so I do believe Hate just skipped T-Chest. That could be something that bites, but we'll wait and find out.
Tryhard says hates to do underwater checks.
And with as many times as a lot of us have gotten together to do these Archipelago runs, I do know that for a fact. Hate does not like to do the underwater checks at all.
So it looks like Saracen decided to only do top floor Volcano and then go and get his floater instead, taking a little bit of backtrack time. I understand the impulse. If he doesn't immediately go back to Volcano, if he does immediately go back to Volcano, I should say, that does feel like a bit of a time loss. If he decides to venture off and go do some other chest dense area somewhere else, though, I can understand the impulse.
So, I'm
She does.
I'm going to say that it wasn't entirely a bad decision to do that, just because then you have it done and you're able to continue on, whereas Demon does have to go back there. But at the same time, coming in here to grab the Cardias, definitely worth it. We just
Cardias are a good play. You could potentially get some good stuff out of here. There's a lot of AP items from the looks of it. Just wow, that Grey Worm room had 3 on its own. None of them were good, but they were checks to make. 4, 5. Okay, that entire Grey Worm room was AP checks. Wow. It's the kind of thing where you're sitting there going, I understand leaving. I'm not going to say it's necessarily bad that he left. At the same time, though, especially when you have a good grind tile up above, I hate to leave this Volcano when you can actually have a chance of, like, killing Carrie and getting 2 shards for your trouble, you know?
This is true. Hate getting one of my personal favorite items in the game, and you might agree with me on this one, Fizzle, the Gilded Egg. AKA the Money Egg.
Yeah, the Vendermatic. I never buy items. Some of you may know this, that I tend to not buy things at shops, like consumable healing items. And that is a habit I have carried into Timespinner. That Gilded Egg just sits in my inventory, and it rots.
We've never seen you not buying stuff bite you before, no!
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get to the end, it's just like, man, I wish I bought biscuits, but, like, Most of the time, it's just like, nah, I gotta go fast.
The tail.
I buy them. People are gonna give them to you for free.
Yeah.
The tail was picked up, so Saracen went ahead and promoted. So I do like the play. And there's the power of the Ice Orb over on Hate screen. Let's go, Ice Orb. Done. Maw is dead.
Thanks, Lich. I mean, Maw.
Hey, look, Maw, more ice.
Is this the point where I can shout "Ma Meatloaf" and no one except me will get the reference?
Oh no, I would get it. You should know I'd get that one.
Okay, so at least us here watching the game would get the reference. So
Yeah.
anyway, looks like Demon Frog has found that Wiz Mummy tile here as well. He hit it a couple times. I saw that fight more than once. I think he was getting a top up on level so he can try and take carry on a little more efficiently. Can't blame him for that. Oh yeah, his fighter is up over 325 health. Unless carry is packing some serious heat, that has to be backed up by some nukes, he should die pretty quick.
So now we're at a point where Shadow and Hate are basically crisscrossing over things that the other has done. The only truly notable thing is that Hate is exploring with the benefit of the Teleria attachment, so he is definitely got a zoom go fast, whereas Shadow is just plodding along at normal walking pace until he bumps into the Teleria when he zaps back to the present.
Oh, so Teleria is the Black Panther soul is what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
And there is the Time Spinner wheel for Hate, as well as the Eternal Brooch. Because Saracen is now back in Volcano after promoting and is looking decent on the Light Warriors.
Saracen doing that top up of stuff over at Canaria and now coming in here to see Frost Giants and, well, at the Grey Worm tile. I saw what Demon did with Carrie, and she took a couple rounds, but a few nukes and swings took her down. You want your levels when you're coming in here. I would say with the carry that we saw with some nukes, you're gonna want to be level 12 or 13 before you take her on, because she was just chunky enough to give people a bad time.
Indeed. And Gear 2 for Hate, so Hate is only one gear off, if I'm looking at this correctly.
I believe
Which
so.
should
I
be
believe
Gear
he's
3.
still missing Gear 3, yeah. Which neither of our runners have cited.
But there is the potential that we could see a hint going out for Gear 3. If that happens, and Lightwall's in a decent spot, then that's go mode for Hate.
I believe that's what Hate's doing right now. We just wanted to check the next... Oh no, hinting for Sash. Sash is, Alana's attic. That's why we're not getting
Bottom
Sash.
of Dad's right tower for Lightwall.
Okay, so, grab a snack, and, strap in, because our Time Spinner runners are going to be here for a little while.
Is that the one where they have to, like, freeze the enemies to get up into the tower?
Oh no!
And that is Skeleton in... Alright, we can get keycard B easily enough, but...
At least it's not Zerion.
Yeah. We can get keycard B, that's fine. The problem is that we gotta go get our light wall out of Dad's tower, which is the final dungeon of the game. Well, sorry, the final dungeon technically before the pyramid, but also technically optional, but we have to go do it. And we have to do a significant chunk of it. Just so that we can get a stupid buildy wally thing, so that we can go do other things.
And there is true go mode with the Soul Scanner for Hate. Because
Soul Scanner, the most important item in the game, because you need to know the name of the things that you're exploding.
Exactly.
I'm
You
sitting there
understand
going, wait, why is it important? Please tell. Oh, okay.
You understand me all too well, Fizzle. Sorry, not sorry, try hard. Because I know you're here watching.
Saracen here clearing out this Agama floor here, which is also the richest floor we've seen so far in Volcano, with, I believe I counted like 8 AP items on this floor. This is not a floor you skip. This is amazing.
So, that's a close combat gear 3.
Yep. Refresh my memory. Where is close combat again? That sounds like Dad's Tower nonsense.
It's either Dad's Tower or Military Hangar, if I remember correctly.
Oh, it might be the hangar, yeah. Okay.
I think it's Military Hangar.
So, hangar would be good, because that's immediately in our path. But if it's one of the Dad's Tower ones, that's yet more, oops, gotta do all this garbage at the end with no functional upward momentum.
Until you check the bottom of Dad's right tower.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be just get the light wall, just load up on magic pots, and then just build your way to success in the pyramid. Just we're not even going to bother with Sash.
Well, here's the thing. Hate has Teleria, Hate has Succubus, Hate will have light wall. And one of the things that Hate actually taught me when I was learning the rando is something called light wall skip. And when we actually hit that point, I'll explain it a little bit more in detail. This should be close combat.
Okay, there it is. All right. That's fine. So now I believe we just need the light wall and we are good to go.
Yeah, it will just be the light wall. And yeah, Tryhard, you were absolutely right. It is the first chest on the bottom of Military Hangar.
So Go mode is almost achieved for Hate, but I believe we're only about halfway to the shards that we need here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. Now, actually, it looks like 2/3 of the way maybe for Saracen.
That's what it looks like. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Depending upon the key items that they have, which I don't think our tracker is actually working right now, so I'm not sure exactly about what we have.
Our tracker has faced a power outage, is what happened.
Yeah, happens. Totally cool. I think Saracen might be like looking at trying to get effective go by just fighting a couple bosses and then being done with it. So, from what he was at stat-wise, he might be able to get away with just killing a Kraken after this and being done.
That is a possibility. I mean, both Saracen and Demon Frog are promoted. Saracen making it through carry, no problem. Hate having to do this room in the way that I absolutely do not like. And makes it look easy. Makes it look very easy. And so now it's heading through the lab, getting to Ginza, who is Blobmon, and then going to get Lightwall and probably fighting Protodad.
Okay, yeah. So I think Saracen is 8 shards off from Go mode at this point.
Hit going out for the loot, and the loot is going to be in Saracen's world as well as Demon Frog's world.
Loot, that was the other thing we were missing.
And is it going to be in C? I think it is. So Hate switching over orbs, going into Blob Bomb, and here we go. Gonna slice through Blob Bomb with the Eye Orb, which I am a fan of, since you can get multiple hits with the Eye Orb. It definitely makes the fight go a little bit faster. There's a pretty significant difference between Hate and Shadow Walker. Shadow Walker still needs to kill Alana, and I'm not even certain what all Shadow Walker's missing. right now, outside of Light Wall, maybe Gear 3, but Ginza is down for Hate. And if Hate tries to go, he would have been stuck, but he remembers that he doesn't have Light Wall. So he's going to go get Light Wall and then come back.
Now, Hate is just far enough out from actually being able to finish the game. Like, he'd still have to go through and do the last dungeon and blah 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 after he gets his go mode. Which isn't long, but it's just long enough that there's, like, well, any shards that he has in his world he'd send over to Saracen when he finishes. I'm not certain that's really going to matter to Saracen, considering how close he is to his go mode.
I absolutely agree with that, and there is a very real possibility that Saracen will be in go mode post Hate's forfeit.
Yeah. I think with Hate, once Hate forfeits, I would be surprised if they aren't in go. But if Saracen isn't ready to go, if he hasn't done it already, like, he's really close.
You saw the loot get picked up by Saracen, so Saracen does have the loot, has the key, has everything needed for go mode. There's the bottom of the tower.
Saracen.
It's going to be a thing. This is going to be interesting.
Saracen cruelly annihilates Bubbles. Just, what did that mermaid ever do to you, Saracen?
It's the Bubbles Soda Company. You expect any less? Alright, Hate going in to the Volteralus fight. Gonna use the Nether Orbs. And this is gonna do quite a bit of quick damage. Dark Flames coming in during the fight. And switching over to the Shadow Seal, this is going to allow a lot of extra damage to be dealt. Because the damage from, or the damage bonus from Shadow Seal is calculated based upon the missing HP. And if you're missing quite a bit of HP, you're going to get a massive damage boost.
Okay, tracker is updated.
Thank you, Fizzle. Saracen did grab the loot in that time. And with that, the timeline has been shattered for Hate, and I'll go ahead and do an explanation of Light Wall Skip, as we're going to be getting to that relatively quickly. So, with the Succubus Hairpin, you have the double jump, and the nice thing with that is you can use the double jump after casting a light wall to then be able to grab hold of the light wall itself, use it as a platform to go underneath the bend that normally you would need the Celestial Sash in order to get past, and jump through that, or jump underneath and up that bend to get to the other side, to then be able to continue onto the other side of the pyramid. So this actually negates the requirement of the Celestial Sash. It looks like it might be difficult to do if it's your first time seeing it, but it's not too terribly bad to do. You've got a fairly lenient window in order to get this, per my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you just practice it a couple of times, once you get into the rhythm of it, it kind of just does itself.
It's really sick to watch. Like, that. This is incredible.
Yeah, that first try light wall skip, Hate and I have talked about it many, many times, and it just feels so good to get. It is absolutely gorgeous to get. Shadow Walker fighting Ilana right now. Demon Frog inside of Sea Shrine. I do believe we are going to see a Kraken kill from Demon Frog, more than likely via Brack. And Shadow Walker's on to phase 2 of the Ilana fight, so this is where things get fun, and she's dead. Whereas,
yeah, I find it interesting that Demon Frog, like, I agree with Demon Frog here, finishing out this dungeon, going for the Kraken kill to get your shards. I find it interesting that Saracen didn't do that.
Saracen plays based on the number of checks in a dungeon, but Nightmare Phase 1 goes down to the Nether Orbs for Hate. Phase 2, Shadow Seal, lots of damage going out. Like it's literally nothing. And about to get the crash from Sandman 2, aka Orb Phase, and Sandman 2 is down onto Nightmare for Hate, where I imagine we're going to see quite a few light walls going up, and Hate standing on top of the light wall to damage Nightmare as much as possible.
There he goes.
Hate goes, I don't care about your attack. This could hit twice. It did not.
I have a feeling Hate's sitting there going, please stop sending me items right now. I'm at the boss.
So, Phase 2 for Nightmare. The attack being very well telegraphed, easy to dodge, and that's it for Hate. Get your exclamation points out for Hate the 13th, finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 49 minutes and 4 seconds.
Very good, GG.
Claps all around. Now we're just waiting to see whether or not Saracen got enough shards there to finish, or if he has to go kill a boss. And he menus too quickly. He's still checking AP items.
He has to go kill a boss.
Yeah.
He may have to go
change.
kill a dragon.
Looks like we're 6 shards off, yeah.
Six,
so that's a cube was picked up at some point, so that is a Tia kill and something else kill if we still have a Lich or a carry available to us.
This kind of gets back to what I was saying before. You're over at Sea Shrine, you have a Kraken, you have Brack even. I don't like the play of moving away from Kraken when you could just get those 4 shards.
JLo is correct. He only needs 4 shards. He's on his 5th row, only has 2 left to light up, and then the 2 on the 6th row to make the 32. That's gonna be pretty quick to get, actually.
Yeah. I just would have gotten into Kraken, I'm just saying.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
It's that rule. You're there. Do the checks in front of you. Get the shards in front of you. I fully understand you like sky. Gotta go do sky. But you're already at Sea Shrine. That rule doesn't apply when you're already there.
Indeed. And
So Shadow has picked up the Teleria attachment, already hinted for Gear 3 and Keycard B locations. Picking up a couple easy checks, probably just hoping for shards for Demon Frog along the way, but I have a feeling that Shadow's going to try to turn the jets on at this point.
Well, he's got to feel the pressure at this point.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they both feel the pressure at this point, as the loser of this race gets eliminated. And for Hate and Saracen, it's on Saracen to finish now.
Saracen does have one of the fights that I love to take, because usually they're pretty weak and pretty easy to kill. The R Hydrants are usually a decent amount of experience and don't tend to take more than a single round of combat to make it through them.
Absolutely agree.
If you find yourself on the Bridge of Destiny and you just see an R Hydrant encounter and you've got spare ice magic, might as well just use it there.
Well, he has spare ice magic for days because he's got a black shirt. Yeah. As Admiral Tryhard then just also says in chat. Yeah, no, that one. Oh, it's okay to kill. Like there is an idea of trying to pick and choose the battles that you have and do the ones that are quick to take and are going to be like lucrative and worth it. Some of the fights you're going to have on the Bridge of Destiny, absolutely not worth it. In this particular instance, though, like the R Hydrants are generally pretty decent to do.
Look at Hate. I love that message from Hate.
So, Shadow has all the pieces of the time spinner. We got the keycard B. All he needs at this point is upward momentum from the light wall that we're going to go dig out. And Shadow will be on his way to the pyramid. Demon Frog on a Kraken fight, letting nukes fly. Kraken's still there. Incoming melee has a muted knight down to around 100 health. Nuke's continuing to go out. Nuke for 123. Kraken's still there. A melee attack. And then another nuke for 230. Ooh, a whole lot of health on this Kraken. The knight goes down, but we still have all the artillery there. And nuke for 222. Down goes Kraken. Let me see if I can get a look at... Okay, so Demon still is going to need a couple more shards after this. I believe 3.
Meanwhile, while you were doing that whole long spiel about Kraken, Saracen walked up, cracked Tiamat in the face once, and they fell over.
Rack stress, they work every time.
Every time. And he's at level 22 for all 3 of his fighters that he has up, versus Demon Frog being at 19 right now. Demon Frog is probably still about 5 minutes behind Saracen for Go mode, one way or another. He's got to get a few more levels. He needs those few extra shards he's missing. He's behind. There's no doubt about that.
Demon Frog might actually be a little more behind Saracen than that, because Demon Frog also has to wait for Shadow Walker to finish, potentially, in order to get the shards. At this point, there very well may be a chance that Demon Frog could grab the shards before Shadow Walker finishes, but I highly doubt that.
Well, he's going to get 4 off of Tiamat, assuming he has, which he does, the cube and the chime. So, depending upon what he's looking for, he doesn't beeline. Okay, never mind. If it was me, I'd just beeline to Tiamat and be done with it.
Alright.
Checking, who wants to do that? I'm just going to go kill the boss. I'm fine.
It's Topher time, with the Katana +1 being in the Topher chest, and the cabin being found as well.
For that thief no one used.
Exactly.
I don't even know.
Glitch 2. We got fast going out onto the knight, swing from the Maza, and I imagine that Lich is probably going to be dead. Yep.
Okay, because magically it's carrying now.
It's Lich. Like, I didn't think it was going to survive. Like, we landed the fast.
I was just going to say, there's not a ninja in the party. Someone just left their crumpled up red pajamas on the floor. That's all it is.
Wait. Oh, carry 2 with Nuke. That's coming out dealing some significant damage onto Saracen's party, but they all do survive, which is very, very good.
23 now for his party. Very chunky knight right there. Very nice to see.
And now, Shadow Walker being in the Emperor's Tower is going to get that light wall, and lots of heal pots going out for Saracen. This is where things get kind of tight, because we're onto a gatekeeper. Fizzle, I don't know if you know anything about this gatekeeper.
No. I mean, it's there. It's like physically blocking the gate. I don't really know what it does. Like, it's casting fire magic. That seems perfectly sensible. Let's try some lock strats, some fast strats, some ruse strats. Could the ruse be foreshadowing? Lock 2 goes out and hits. Ruse is not foreshadowing. Here comes a nuclear. Our red mage is down to under 100 health. Black mage not that far behind. Let's try some healing magic. Let's try a lot of healing. Incoming Ice 2 does not much. Upwards of 30 damage per person. Heal 2 goes off. Gonna restore around 50 health per person. Bonk. Need more power. Done with power. Let's try hitting. What are we doing? Gonna go with nuke strats. Here comes more heal 2. Gonna try and band-aid things as best we can. Outgoing nuke. For some amount of damage. Incoming fire 3. Crits on the black mage. We no longer have a black mage, but they no longer have a Kraken. 6 at 624. We got life? We got life. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Good old life. Gotta love it.
So, Tryhard in chat says if you got bounced out of Saracen, or if he got bounced out of Saracen, he'd go and grind immediately. I don't know. Like, it's short Topher. You don't waste a lot of time in here. I feel like I try once or twice.
No, if you can reliably make it to, like, Kraken or Tia, you just try until you make it. Speaking of trying, here is Tia. 5 hits for 390 against that Red Mage. Red Mage ruses just after the nick of time. What are we doing? Going to nuke strats. Have decided, dang the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Nuke for 154. Incoming lightning 2. The Red Mage has 11 health. 11 whole health. Swing for 223. Nuke for 174. We're going to need to turn the volume up a little bit on this Tia if we want it to go down in a timely manner. Lock 2. Hits. Incoming melee. Shaves off half of the knight's health. Counterattacks for only 100 damage. We need a lot more throughput than that. Let's hope for the high damage nukes. Here we go. First nuke.
Something.
Let's see what for something.
Oh god.
We lost our meat shield. Second nuke. Numbers are flying. Nuke going out.
That's
and the
bad.
nuclear comes back in.
Yeah. That's that. That is a nasty Tiamat right there. That is the gatekeeper we were expecting.
Tia 2 holding the gate down for chaos.
At this point, I would be questioning where my tempers are at.
I would also be contemplating getting the ninja up and at least throwing that katana for a slight bit more damage output because crit rate.
I was just thinking, pull the ninja up, put them up front, and let them take that first hit from Tiamat so the fighter doesn't have to.
I don't think a ninja is the answer to our problems. We are sustaining enormous damage from nuke and nuclear and AoEs. A ninja is just going to be extra steps between combat. What we need is to get that fighter actually swinging something that means a damn. So, like, either we need temper, or if temper is not available, I'm a little warming up to that grind idea just on the amount of nuclear.
They have power bulk. They do have power bulk. They just need a way to get the fighter to stay alive while they're bonking. Right,
and the sternly worded email to Tia is not gonna get there. We just need more. We just need more tempers. We need more power. If brute force didn't work, you weren't using enough of it.
Dear sir and or madam, okay?
I was about to say, Fizzle, where's that brute force quote? I know you too well to not have that brute force quote.
We're on to
coming up.
Tia.
We're
to Kraken.
Well, there goes that.
That was 11 hits for 879 damage on that night. That was painful to see.
11 hits for more than a character's health, an unpredictable moment for sure in this Kraken fight, but a couple more nukes and we have solved the problem. Let's do a little bit of life magic. Let's just fire hose some heal pots real quick. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Let's just move on.
Yeah, Kraken just papery enough that it's like, even if you lose the fighter, you can still try to make it through.
Shadow Walker taking down Volteralus though in the meantime, and on to the pyramid. Let's see if Shadow Walker can get the light wall skip that Hate got earlier, and if so, that's going to be pretty nice.
So, Saracen ruse not only the fighter, but also the Red Mage. And I get rusing the fighter, but when Tiamat is doing nothing but, like, this AoE kind of damage, I don't feel like rusing the Red Mage is the right call there.
So, this is a fight where you need to basically you need to destroy Tia before you succumb to all the AoE damage. We don't have the ability to just base tank AoE after AoE and just, hope for the best. You got to take the best possible increase in damage, and I think for this party, that's like bonk fast lock and then bonk lock and then swing nukes. Is I think the path that we gotta find here.
Rusing doesn't do anything in the face of Inferno, Thunder, and 2 nuclears.
The Lightning 2's help. If we can see more of this spell script, I feel like that's gonna be a good time for all involved. Heal 2 continuing to Band-Aid. Bonk continuing to power. Fire 2, even better. Yeah, this spell script is a whole lot of nothing. 5 hits for some damage. Heal goes off. Here's the nuclear. The Red Mage has survived. Are we nuking or quad Xing? It doesn't matter. We get nuclear. Reset. Let's try that again.
So that is
nuclear.
Inferno or It's Inferno, Thunder, Double Nuclear, I think.
Nuclear, Inferno, Thunder, Nuclear, because they're spaced out, but then it moves right back on itself again.
It's disgusting, regardless.
Yeah. Tia got everything.
And Demon Frog continuing to ascend Sky. Shadow Walker heading down to the Nightmare fight. And Saracen just swinging away at Topher.
You just got to beat your face against that brick wall until the brick wall crumbles.
Yeah, I don't know. I respect the first 3 attempts here. I don't know that I necessarily agreed with this 4th attempt. I think you know at this point that your fighter is, like, swinging a Nerf blade and needs to have more power behind it.
I will agree with that. Demon Frog going up against Tia. Brack borking into pizzas.
Speaking of Brack, we got Brack. I can't help but wonder if 6% of the time this Tia 2 is going to go away every time.
I mean,
I'm guessing that instead of Ruse. That's for sure.
Statistically speaking, yes.
Yeah.
6% of the time, every time.
Yeah. I think if it was me, knowing where the tiles are that are worth seeing or really not seeing, and what we had available, I kind of feel like you got to go hit the desert and grab some good stakes right now and get just a few more levels under that fighter so he can swing something better. And then when you get your fighter swinging, brack with your other guys. Just nothing but brack.
Shadow Walker onto the Nightmare fight, and this is probably going to be done pretty quick for Shadow Walker, as he's doing a lot of damage to Nightmare. Should be pushing into Phase 2 relatively quickly. There's the start of Phase 2. Going to drop some more light walls, get extra damage out, and there goes Nightmare for Shadow Walker. Get your exclamation points out for Shadow Walker 227, finishing with an official race time .gg time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 45 seconds. We still see Tia 2 on Saracen's side.
Alright, Quad X, gonna see.
Quad X, are we gonna get there? Quad X, are we
It
gonna
terminated!
And that's why you get Quad X.
Moral of the story, Quad X is good.
Yes.
Saracen getting ready to pull Chaos, doing all the final healing, and Demon Frog entering Topher right now. If Saracen can win this, then that's it.
Yeah.
Bubble Soda Company lives on. Orbonne Knights are going to be defeated.
So it's a lot closer now than it was before, but Demon does not realize the Tiamat he is about to face.
So the Blade of Meat Shield is online. The last of the gear jiggling has been completed. Let's fight ourselves a chaos. Here we go. Shields are going to wait. We're going to fast the Knight. The Knight is going to ruse, and we're going to temper. We have had temper. We continue to have temper as Chaos's melee phase fails to take down the Black Mage. Temper goes off, fast goes off, ruse goes off. Round 2. Meat Shield's going to continue to stand there. What are we doing with our Red Mage? Is it wall time? It's wall time. We're going to wall that Red Mage. Second ruse stack out of 3, and then we're going to shift from tempers to locks, just in case. No, we're not. As the Black Mage goes down, ruse goes off, and the Meat Shield continues to stand there. That's going to be its play for the fight. It's going to continue to stand there. What is our Red Mage doing? Our Red Mage is going to go with ruse strats as well. This does seem like the punchy chaos. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Meat Shields are down, so all we've got is the Red Mage and a fully evade capped Knight. Time for bonk strats. Second of 3 ruses goes off on the Red Mage. Chaos already missing. Are we going to go for the third? We are. Time for some more bonk strats. We get this Knight in a low Earth orbit. Ruse going off. Bonk going off. And the Red Mage is going to stand there. This seems to be a melee-only chaos. Far be it for us to argue with that. 4 hits for 465 going out. 735 out. That's a pretty sizable hit. This Chaos is not going to be there that long. 520. Chaos continues to be there, flailing helplessly. Yet more flailing, not doing much outgoing damage for 407. Down goes Chaos. Saracen finishes with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 38 seconds.
GG.
And that is our first place finish for Team Bubble Soda Company. Get your GGs out in chat.
Indeed. And Demon Frog pushing through on Topher. Not looking too terribly bad. And that's a pretty good run from Saracen and Hate. Sub 50 for Hate. 107 for Saracen. It's good enough to win.
The Demon Frog on to everyone's favorite Kraken, going with white shirt strats, doing some buffing. Let's see some nuke. Defense goes off. Nuke goes out.
Hi.
White shirt goes off.
Lloyd.
We are joined in the booth by Hate the 13th. How's it going? And Saracen.
Hello.
I had to scroll down there. Saracen's in here too. This is a crowded booth. I can't be held responsible for windows.
Yeah, it's a little crowded, you know.
Nice.
So,
First off, nice 50 Hate and really, really well executed light wall skip.
Oh yeah, I was nervous about that one just because I was like, okay, the sash being in Alana's attic, yeah, that's right out.
I think you were the second Timespinner person to do the pattern where you would hint for sash and then immediately hint for light wall. We saw Shadow do it, but we didn't see the results of it. We just saw a hint for sash and then an immediate hint for light wall. It's like, all right, sash is somewhere we're never gonna get it.
Yeah, sash was Alana's attic, and light wall was Dad's tower bottom right. Which I got confused with Dad's bottom, which is why I ran over there, grabbed the plasma orb, and then was kind of scratching my head for a few seconds.
I was about to ask about that, so that definitely makes sense. Hey, Saracen.
How about that Tia 2?
How about that Tia 2?
Yeah, that's a Tia 2 that'll cause some day drinking.
You're not wrong, because if I remember correctly, in our race last week, we also had that bad of a Tia 2.
Something like that. There was a gatekeeper last in our race. That,
yeah, it was the nuclear Tia 2 last week.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Demon is through Tia 2. I believe that was
First try.
try.
Yeah.
I call shenanigans?
We're gonna ask him, he's like, so how about that Tia 2? He's like, it was a Tia 2, what? Well, I don't know anything about it.
Let's see a chaos fight. Our meat shield is going to cast the white shirt. We have, I believe, some bonk strats happening. Fast going off. No, we're going with defense strats out of our knight and some lock 2. Fast goes off. Lock 2 goes off. Incoming punch straight to the red mage, but it's still standing. White shirt goes off. Defense goes off. The meat shield is going to flail helplessly. We are going to lock 2. So outgoing melee, 3 hits, 3 damage. Incoming melee. The black mage is still there. Fast goes off on the thief. Outgoing melee from the knight. Lock 2 continuing to land. Going all in on these lock 2 strats. Looks like Demon Frog did not pick up temper. Otherwise, I think we would have seen it by now. The lock 2s continue to fly. Outgoing melee swing, 6 hits for 193 damage. That was unexpected. Chaos flails in response, takes down the meat shield. Let's have some real actual melee. 8 hits for 300 something. And we're on wait and swing strats. We got 8 hits for 341. A lot of waiting. Some incoming melee, but the red mage absorbs it. Red mage didn't absorb that one. Outgoing melee. 8 hits for 390. Chaos still there. 8 hits for 454. Down goes Chaos. Demon Frog finishing with official race time GG time of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 49 seconds. GG to him.
And here we see the moment where I got tired of listening to that track. GG's Demon.
GG's Demon, GG's Shadow Walker.
GG's Demon, you were in tow for about 20 minutes less than me.
Yeah, I was at a point where I was like, I'm in go mode -3 shards at level 18 and this doesn't feel good. That's why I took a bunch of fights in Sky and Mirage, just trying to get up to 4 hits on whatever sword I had.
I feel you on that. I was.
Yeah,
23 after carry 2, and it was not happy.
We absolutely comment on the fact that you had like no levels going over the Topher.
Yeah, I know, but with short Topher, it's always a bit more of a just throw yourself at it, kind of figure out what fiends are good, what are bad, and you can probably power through it even a little bit lower. Well, it took me 2 tries. Too bad.
Yeah, that first wipe to Kraken 2 was a thing.
The
Hey,
Kraken 2
shenanigans.
hard targets slot 3. I don't know why I put the fighter. That was my fault.
I gotta call shenanigans on your Tia 2 being kind, because I had like 4 wipes to Tia 2.
That's... Yeah,
you didn't get to see the scripts.
Yeah, you got to see the spell
skills,
list.
rather.
Yeah, you got to see the spell list, the lightning 2s, the fire 2s, the yawn fest. Meanwhile, over in skills, we had nuclear, inferno, something nuclear.
Oh, okay. Well, yay.
That's fun. So, can we talk about this being the... Hey, do you remember all the vanilla strats in Timespinner Seed?
Yeah,
I remember some of them.
Because it sure was.
Hey, Shadow Walker, do you remember all the vanilla strats?
I do.
There you
I
go.
did struggle juggles.
I didn't bother with the struggle juggles because when I was in that area, I didn't have my wheel, and so screw them.
I wanted to comment on that struggle juggle because that was very well done.
Yeah, I executed 2 very well performed struggle juggles that both had fucking nothing.
Yeah.
So, the real divergence, I think, with the Timespinner runners is, I think, when early on, Hate decided to go for the past, the old castle, whereas Shadow, you went for clearing as much of the elevator towers as you could.
Yeah, so my issue was I got into the castle, I did the basement loop, and was like, well, the only items that I can actually get are the item before the twins, and I think I had wheel at that point, so I could actually get to twins and fight them. And I was like, that's only 2 items, and it's gonna be a little while for me to run back to actually use the warp, since I don't have any warp shards right now. So I'm gonna go to the elevator tower, and while I'm over there, buy some warp shards, and elevators had nothing. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Then I played the numbers game again, and decided, well, I've got water mask and gas mask, so let's go fight Maw. And that had nothing.
Yeah, before I even entered into the castle, I went to the present and bought a couple of warp shards, cleared out the library as much as I could, and just was like, all right, yep, I'm gonna get these things done right quick because I don't want to do the castle yet.
Yeah, I saw hint Celestial Sash, nothing. Okay, so that means Shadow's game. Hint Light Wall in Shadow's game. Oh, this is turning up and not be good.
Yeah, did Shadow tell you where those 2 were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Shadow Walker, how about the Succubus hairpin location and the Teleria location?
They were nice and convenient. If only I had committed to doing castle when there was only 2 checks left for me to get to.
Yeah, that's the Timespinner giveth and the Timespinner taketh away, I think.
Yep. RNG, sometimes it do us dirty, sometimes it do us good. Sounds like this time it did you dirty.
And the thing that just felt extra rough about it is because we got that elevator keycard and that keycard D so early that, like, in my mind I'm screaming, no, go to the present, go to the present, go to the present. And then I'm like, okay, I've only got 2 checks left over here, and I can't really do that much on the left side just yet. So I'm going to go to the present, and it did not pay off.
Yeah, I guess I am quite lucky that I opted to not do the castle early, because I kind of hate doing castle early, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, even dealing with that stupid bloody log rolling engineer.
Yeah. Not really the way I wanted the tournament to finish, but it was still a fun race.
Yeah, I've had fun doing this. This has been really cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys have enjoyed it, because, it's been good having you on.
I mean, on top of that, Shadow Walker, you also got a match that you really wanted to have anyway, so... I mean,
did.
Going out on this match where it does suck at the same time, you also got what you wanted this week with the matchup.
I did. I've been looking forward to Racing Hate since I got into Timespinner, and you helped me learn the light wall glitch to get through the Wyvern room. So,
Yeah,
I'm glad to be able
glitches.
to race you. We'll have to do it again.
Because, I was looking forward to this just because, I knew you had been hoping for this here soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Team Orbonne Knights, this is your exit from the tournament. Do you have any other final thoughts you want to give?
No, it's been fun being part of, I don't know if this is the inaugural AP tournament, but I haven't seen many others. I'm going to call it the inaugural.
It's the inaugural FFR time.
Yeah, we'll call it that. It's been a lot of fun. I love both games. I would be interested in trying to do this again and maybe be on the Timespinner or something. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
10 out of 10. Would recommend Timespinner. It's a very fun game.
It definitely is.
I love the movement in Timespinner. It just feels so nice.
Yeah.
All right, and Team Bubbles Soda Co., you are moving on and about to face insert wheel result here in your next round. How confident are you feeling?
Look, I made it beyond round 2. I'm shocked.
Same. I mean, we've got good Archipelago chemistry, I guess. But we have to make that work as opposed to necessarily anything else. And everybody who's left in the tournament bracket at this point is a serious threat.
Mm-hmm.
Larison, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you just get by on RNG at level 19 and something that's killing me at 23, so whatever.
Like I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, so we are going to funnel this broadcast over to the Final Fantasy Randomizer channel so we can get that next round reveal going. But before then, I'm just going to throw it to the rest of the team. Darkmoon, do you have any final thoughts?
I think this is a lot of fun to watch. I love watching co-op in general because I like to see the back and forth between the players. Adding in this shared key item experience and then throwing another game on top, it's so much fun to watch this kind of thing. This has just been a great time.
All right, Sonny, final thoughts.
Oh god, I am both looking forward to and dreading this next week because, I'm not going to tell you who we're up against, but I already know when we're planning on having our match, and I am looking forward to the rest of this tournament playing out. This has been a fantastic tournament so far, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for the rest of these matches, as they're just going to get even more spicy.
All right, and extra special shout-outs to RPG Limit Break for hosting us. Extra special shout-outs to the unsung hero of this night, Math Girl, for putting up with us, for doing the restream, for doing all the things. For all of us here at the Archipelago community, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see y'all in the reveal stream. Have a good night, everyone.